Hey, this is Coaster Chall Bob, built for theme parks, and welcome to another review here on Coaster Chall Reviews. Now, this review is from Derren Brown's Ghost Train, #MindTheGap. So this is a dart ride system at Thorpe Park. It's built by SimWorks, Intamin I think was involved, and of course the VR specialists as well. So I'm going to go through the parts of the experience, what I liked, what I disliked, and of course rating the 4 main categories out of 10. So let's start then with the experience itself. So if you haven't experienced it yet and you don't want it spoiled, skip ahead a few minutes and try and find it where I sort of do the queue line and things like that out of 10. Now, so let's start with the experience then. So walking through the queue line, of course there's loads of, it's sort of set in like the Thorpe Junction railway building. There's loads of posters, no water, no future, hashtag no fracking. It doesn't have a hashtag, it's just no fracking. End of the line, things like that. It really gets you hyped up for this. Now usually you go into some kind of photo booth where you'll have like a photo taking of you and like a screen, kind of like Galactica. Obviously with their VR you can't allow you can't have like a photo point on ride. However, you can have sort of remove that from Galactica and put a photo booth point on there in the queue line. So they sort of did this with Derren Brown's Ghost Train. So they sort of get your photo and then you get this card sort of hand in if you want your photo printed. With I believe it's related to the Digipass as well. But usually it's some kind of ticket where you get like your picture. You have this in and you get your picture, but I think with the Digipass I think you get a discount, and I think with Merlin Annual Pass I think you get a discount as well, so I'd be wary of the terms and conditions on that. So after the photo booth bit and you've sort of gone through the queue line, you're about to go in, you're in this little queue line, this little pre-show section, and Derren Brown appears and he's sort of explaining different fears, different phobias, and he's sort of drawing things on the wall and things like that. He's explaining how this ghost train is revolutionary and how it's different from any other ride and stuff like that. And he sort of ends it with, "I'll see you on the other side." And then of course the train sort of sound effects coming in. Then you get ushered through the corridor into the main Victorian carriage bit. Which looks like the indoor looks like a modern train, and the outdoor is a Victorian carriage hung by iron chains. I saw it on the construction videos that were sent by Thorpe Park and Derren Brown, so I knew what the outside would look like, but I didn't expect the inside would look like a modern train, like a London Underground train. I'm not going to explain the VR, what happened on the VR, because it's different for everybody else. So I'd be wary of that, but basically, in short, mine was a man with a massive beard and like a cap or something. He sort of had like a lantern or something with him, I think, and he was sort of explaining how about the train and stuff like that. And then the sort of VR comes off. You get a few jump scares here and there, people touching your legs and things like that. And then you get ushered out of the train, and you get ushered. Now this was one of the main changes for the Rise of the Demon part. Now this was a little area where one area was blocked off in like a tunnel. There was like a little thing like that, and they were told to cuff your mouth, so you basically don't know, not to inhale the gas. So there was a gas leak or something, everyone told to cuff their mouth. There's another little bit near a tunnel section, and then you get ushered back out through the train carriage, into the train carriage, we say, and there's another VR bit, and especially with the enhancements of the demon with the addition of the demon, the VR quality changes slightly, like the train's been ripped up and you get touched, and oh, it's very eerie. And then you get ushered out of the train into the shop. Now the shop is a fake shop. Now, spoiler alert, it's a fake shop because there's a light goes off and there's a bit of demon, a full-scale demon on display that scares you. Lights go off, lights come back on and it's not there, and you got ushered into the real shop. So again, I was very, very impressed with the quality of the effects, but the VR, disappointing. So let's go through it then. So queue line and station atmosphere. Station being the photo booth and the pre-show bit with Derren Brown explaining about the fears and phobias. That's sort of what I mean by station atmosphere for this review. Out of 10 then, for queue line and the photo booth and the pre-show station bit, I'm going to give it out of 10 a good 7. I think it's very decent. The queue line has some nice posters around it, but again, I think the queue line should have some more theming. I feel like the pre-show was a bit lackluster in my opinion. I feel like they could have jump scared us a bit more, because it's supposed to be this extreme dark ride. So I was expecting more. I was expecting way more than that. Now moving on to theming around the ride, I guess you could sort of say there's more theming around the ride, with like the posters in the train, the posters on the platform as you come out of the train told to cover your mouth. I'm not going to do this anymore. So in terms of theming around the ride, I'm going to give that a decent 7.5 out of 10. I thought it was alright, but it could have been a little bit more. Layout of the ride. Now you may be surprised about this, but I'm going to give layout in terms of surprise factor, how they did it, and things like that, and how the experience was laid out, and this does include the VR as well. I'm going to be giving it a 10 out of 10 layout. Now some of you may be wondering, why are you giving it 10 out of 10 for layout? Layout, if you're including the VR. The VR doesn't do it for me. The VR is off to the side. Put the VR aside, I'd still give it a 10 because I had no idea how they did it. Absolutely no idea. And people were buzzing about, you know, they were asking, how did you do it? How did you do it? I even heard a story of someone actually having a tracker on their phone to track their movements on the ride. I'm not going to say who. I don't know who. I don't know exactly who. But I've heard some people have actually had the tracker on their phones, and they've come off. They wanted to track their movements on the ride. That just shows how much people are exhilarating about this, and the rush of how do they do it? How do we get from one train to the other and back into the other one again? It's an illusion. Derren Brown was in on this for the illusion factor as well. So that's why I'm giving layout, with or without VR, a 10 out of 10. In terms of VR quality, it was alright. It was better than Galactica, but it wasn't at all the best. So for overall ride then, I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10. I think it was a very good dark ride, very big investment by the park. Was it worth the money? In a way. In a way, I think it was worth the money, with how much they paid for it. And of course, I know people say it wasn't very good and it had loads of problems. Take away all the problems, they're replacing a carousel and an arena that was used for the original location of My Bloody Valentine. And I think the old Spider-Man stunt show as well. I think that was the arena. But they're replacing an arena and a carousel with a full-scale dark ride. That's a bargain. That's a bargain in my case. Obviously, it would have been nice to see a new arena at Thorpe Park so they can keep the show factor. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I would love to see a new arena put on Thorpe Park. Maybe an arena on the lake, maybe? I don't know. I'm thinking too much ahead of this. But in terms of a dark ride, excluding the VR and how many problems it's had over the couple of years it's been operating, I do feel as if it was a decent ride. It's a decent attraction. It's something good for Thorpe Park. It's something great for Thorpe Park. And take away all the problems, and if the VR quality could have been better and little bits of theming here and there should have been placed more. Take away all the negatives, you've got a brilliant dark ride when it's working fully to perfection. When it's working fully, you've got a real world-class dark ride. When the VR quality is 100%, when all the theming's in the right place, with just about enough theming in the queue line, when all the effects are on, when all the pre-shows are working, when all the effects are working, when all the things are in place and working in order as it should be, when everything's 100%, you've got a real world-class dark ride. It's still not my favourite dark ride in the world. Now, of course, you guys may not know my top 5 dark rides. My favourite dark ride's Valhalla at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, because I love that ride. I know people say it's a water ride, but I count it as a water dark ride, so that's what I'm going with. So I put Valhalla as my top dark ride. Derren Brown is second, in front of Charlie Chocolate Factory, Toyland Tours, and It's a Small World at Disneyland Paris. I put that 5th, but I kind of want to do that again to see if it will place higher than Charlie, Toyland and Derren Brown. But overall, Derren Brown's in my top 3, but it's not number 3. It's better than Toyland Tours and Toss Charlie, but it's not better than Valhalla. I don't think anything's going to top Valhalla right now. So, in terms of dark rides, so again, you've got to kind of take that on the chin and move on. But maybe if I do Derren Brown again and it gives me a good ride, maybe I'll top it above Valhalla at some point, but I don't know when. So that's this review then from Derren Brown's Ghost Train from Thorpe Park. So overall, of course, I'm giving this a solid 8 out of 10. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe and click the notification bell so you never miss a video. My name is Coaster Chall, keep living the Coaster Dudes, and I'll see you guys in the next video soon. Take care, have an awesome day my friends.